what's up? It's Sue. Welcome back to my channel. It's been over a month since I finished my internship at Target, and I thought I'd just share with you guys some of the best things about working there. This is just for anybody who's looking for a summer internship. I never considered Target, but it was so much fun that I just wanted to share with you guys how amazing it was and some of the great perks that I had while working there. I'm gonna talk about my interview process, the daily things that I did, some of the fun events, and sort of what's gonna happen with me and Target in the future. Just a bit of a disclaimer, my sister works for Target. I don't think it really affected the way I got chosen as an intern, but just wanted to put it out there first before I started this video. Speaking of which, I'm gonna talk about the interview process and what it was like. So I applied for the position in October, so right around now is when I applied, but I never heard back from a recruiter until about March. I think most of the recruiting happened early in the fall and in the winter, and then I was kind of just some of the last picks there. So I applied as a software engineering intern. I am a computer science major and I do want to be a software engineer, so that's what I applied for. I'm not quite sure how the interview process works for other departments. So for the interview, the first call was with the recruiter. She was so nice. I actually got to know her a little bit more throughout the summer, and she was just such an amazing resource. So I talked with the recruiter, short phone call, just telling me about the program and what my interests are in technology. Then she set up a phone call with a manager. Now this phone call was a little weird. The manager had emailed me an hour before the interview, and he told me basically what he was going to ask of me. And so within that hour, I scrambled to sort of perfect my answer, but I don't think that's a normal process. When I talked to some of the other software engineering interns, they told me they didn't know the question beforehand, so I think it was just this particular manager who did that with me. And it was a very casual conversation. We didn't focus too much on technical things. He wanted to know about my projects and some of the coursework that I was going into, so it was really easy for me to talk to him. He was very relaxed. After that, about a week later, the recruiter called me again and she gave me an offer. So in the spring, the recruiter sends out a survey. And essentially what she does is she asks you what kind of technologies you're interested in, what kind of technologies are you familiar with. It was just like Java, Python, front-end, back-end, security, and things like that, what you want to do in your internship, and they sort of match you with a team. And I think that's really good because they want to make sure that you are doing the best work there, but also that you're learning as much as you want to. So I flew into Minnesota. As I said earlier, my sister works for Target, so I was living with her. They do have intern housing, which is at the University of Minnesota. Oh, in case you didn't know, the headquarters is in Minnesota. They have two main locations. It's in downtown Minneapolis and then in Brooklyn Park. The two areas are very, very different, I would say. Brooklyn Park is very suburban, kind of far from everything. And then downtown, it was several buildings spanning across a huge block. There's a lot of restaurants and fun things that happen down there. So I would recommend being downtown because that's where I was. But the Brooklyn Park campus is also really, really beautiful. So I moved up to Minnesota. I was living with my sister. A lot of the interns lived in the intern housing. I was kind of glad I didn't live in the intern housing because the housing wasn't so great. But also I was kind of jealous because I felt like I was missing out on a lot of the fun things. But yeah, there were a lot of interns who didn't live in intern housing, and you can still make friends. I made a lot of friends, so it's not too difficult. So it's not a big deal if you don't live in the intern housing. Before the first day, they have a sort of celebration. That's when I really kind of fell in love with the Target culture, which was before even the first day that I was working there. They had a lot of fun things for us. They gave us a lot of merch, including this t-shirt that I'm wearing here. It was a camp-themed party, so then they gave me this t-shirt with Minnesota and like campfires. They also gave me these two dogs back there. They gave us skincare items that they have at the Target stores. They gave us Champion t-shirts. They had a ton of food. It was just so awesome. And I got to meet a lot of the other interns, and I got to meet the other intern that I would be working with on my team. So that was sort of on before the first day of work. On the first day, we had typical administration things, so just going through orientation, learning about some of the rules as an intern. Who's talking outside? It is so late. Go to sleep. The first day was just orientation. That was also really fun. They gave us food and we got to learn more about Target. And then for lunch, they had us meet our manager and our team. That was also really cool. Just getting to know him outside of the office was really special, I think, and I enjoyed that very much. On the second day, I think all of the non-technology interns went to their office, but the technology interns went to the Brooklyn Park campus and we got to tour the area. We had another orientation regarding some of the computer software that we were using, working on an agile development team, things like that. It was kind of like going to a conference and listening to seminars. So that was a lot of fun. The Brooklyn Park campus is really, really nice. I've only been there a couple of times with my internship, but it's just a great building and it's truly like a campus feel. I kind of felt like I was at school when I was out there. On the third day is when we headed to our offices. So straight in the morning I went to work. I didn't really know where my office was, but buildings are really easily laid out, so I found my team. And that's when the routine started. So I had a lot of fun with my team. I think my team was very happy to have interns. It was me and another intern, and we really bonded because we were working side by side on a project every day together. The team really wanted you to come back to Target, and it was very obvious. They wanted to show you the best of Target culture, and I think they really did because I learned so much from them. I was really scared because of my imposter syndrome that I wasn't going to be good enough, but I honestly learned so much. I almost feel like I learned more than I did at school just because I felt so comfortable asking questions and not being afraid to make my comments and statements about the products that we were making. And at any point, if I needed any help, I knew exactly who to reach out to. Pretty much like any job, there were some slower days, especially because it was summer. A lot of people on my team were taking days off. There wasn't a whole lot for us to do as interns. We did have a project, but there were some days where we just weren't fully immersed in it because it was so hot and we were just being casual. But overall, I had a lot of fun making my project. I had a lot of input on what went into it. So now I'm going to talk about some of the best parts of the internship. The first thing is that we got to meet a lot of the executives, which I don't know if a lot of other companies do that, but we got to ask questions to our CEO, CIO, CSO, Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officers. We got to meet so many of these people and just talk to them one-on-one and really learn about them. It made me want to be there and want to learn more about Target culture and see how they're cultivating that amazing fun atmosphere but also getting their work done. The second thing is exactly that. The work-life balance has been so good. And I can see it really in the team that I was working on. Somebody would say, my child is sick, so I'm not coming today. And it made sense, right? If you were at work and you were stressed out about your child being home with a babysitter while they were sick, you wouldn't be doing your best work. So you would want them to go home and then come back the next day to sort of make up their own time loss. And it was really shown how chill everybody was, but also that they wanted to get things done. They were proud to be working at Target. The relaxed culture at Target really made me think about what kind of company that I want to work for in the future. So, do you want a company that always puts pressure on their employees to stay extra hours, and a company that doesn't give them amazing benefits, or a company that you are not proud to be working at, or a company that, I don't know, has bad press or is known to have terrible executives? You want to work somewhere where you want to be proud of, and I think a lot of the Target employees were just really extremely proud of working at Target. The work that I was doing was not just temporary busy work, it was actually useful. I got to see immediately how impactful my summer project was. At the end of the summer, all of the technology interns get to have sort of a career fair, or it felt like, you know when you're in middle school and you have a science fair? Yeah, it was like that, and we all had our table and booths, and this is what mine looked like. We just had a lot of fun like looking at each other's projects, and the really, really awesome part is that our CIO came and he talked to almost everybody. I think I have a picture of him and me talking. I got to show him the work that I was doing this summer. The CIO, that's incredible. Like, I was blown away because they really wanted their interns to come back. And so because of that, they had all these incredible events. Some of the events weren't just for interns, it was for the entire company. And they would give us free food all the time, they would have fun games happening, and they would hire DJs, and they would have great like panel discussions and talks. It was just every week there was something to do, and there was a reason for me to like get up from my desk and take a walk and check out all the cool things that were happening. I made some really awesome friends and I got to add an amazing company onto my resume. So overall, it was just an incredible summer. I'm really proud and happy that I chose to work at Target and that they wanted me to be there. I'm really thankful that I got to have such an amazing time at Target. Thank you so much for watching this. I'm feeling really nostalgic because I'm applying to other jobs after I graduate, and I hope that the place that I'm working at next just brings me as much joy as Target has brought to me this past summer, and to all the people out there who absolutely love Target. It's really great to see that I got to be a part of that, even if it's just for a summer. Let me know in the comments down below if you've had a job that you really loved and why you loved it, or if you had a job that you really hated and why you hated it. I hope this inspires you to work for a company that you're excited for. Thanks you guys, see you in the next one. I got so much merch while I was at Target. They gave me socks and a bunch of tote bags and a lot of t-shirts and folders and notebooks and pens, but these guys are the best thing I got.